Round 2, Game 3 for the Toronto Maple Leafs as they head down to Sunrise, Florida to take on the Florida Panthers here tonight in unfamiliar territory. A 2-0 lead in the second round of the playoffs. Ron McLean said it on the broadcast the other night. Has not happened for this Maple Leafs team since 1987, and yet here we are. And people are expecting the Panthers to respond, and so am I. In today's pregame video, we'll dig into tonight's line combinations, what you have for the Toronto Maple Leafs, what they may or may not be changing, what I expect them to do, how I expect them to play, my keys to victory, as well as our best bet presented by Bet365. I'm Zack Phillips. Let's not waste any time here. Let's head on over to Daily Faceoff and see what we've got for tonight's forward lines for your Toronto Maple Leafs. Now, on your first line, starting things off for the Maple Leafs, Matthew Knies, Mitch Marner, Austin Matthews. They have clicked together for a couple of big goals in this series. And yet, that being said, and I've taken some pushback for it, and I kind of get it, but I'm still waiting for these guys to show up and have that dominant performance. I feel like I'm missing a little bit from Matthews, missing a little bit from Marner. It's just not quite been the best that they have to offer. And to me, as much as I can continue to talk about that, that's also a positive sign. So here we are heading into Game 3 with a 2-0 series lead, and we are talking about Matthews and Marner still not having their A games in this series. I think that that's a positive sign. They remain together for tonight's game. Now you go down to your second line there, Pacioretty, John Tavares, William Nylander. It took a little bit for Max Pacioretty to enter into the 2025 Stanley Cup playoffs, but once he did, it started to build. It wasn't the easiest transition for him, and it looked like he might have been out of place, and then all of a sudden he scores a game winner in Game 6 to end the series and send you on to round 2. Well, he's found his spot there alongside Tavares and Nylander. He looks good. Tavares looks good. And William Nylander looks unbelievable. Second in the Stanley Cup playoffs in point production right now behind only Mikko Rantanen. He has been unreal. The guy has shown up just like we've known that he would, just like he has in years past. William Nylander has been an unstoppable force for this Maple Leafs team, and that second line will remain together for tonight's game. Down to what was your fourth line, and now you're seeing the flip on Daily Faceoff to your third line. That would be Steven Lorentz, Scott Laughton, and Calle Jarnkrok. These guys have been one of the most reliable, trustworthy lines for Craig Berube since Game 1 of Round 1 against the Ottawa Senators, and you're seeing that reflected here in the Daily Faceoff lineup card where you see, bang, a little flip. Laughton, Lorentz, Jarnkrok. Line 3. And now down to line 4, McMahon, Domi, and Holmberg. If that line 3 keeps doing what they're doing, they're going to be very hard for the Panthers to continue to match up against, or at least just cause problems, because it can come at you in waves. You're getting at least contributions from people in your bottom 6. Now, where I go to this one and say, this is where we need more. This is where they could be a lot better. It's the Domi, Holmberg, and McMahon line. I still look at them and I expect them to step up. I expect them to be able to contribute more offensively, to be able to contribute to the intensity, the flow of the game, the momentum of the game. You're still lacking that from a line who found ways to bring it to you for most of the regular season. And particularly in Bobby McMahon, he has not really made his presence felt in these playoffs to this point. Like, I have not looked at Bobby McMahon and said, yeah, that was the game that I've seen you play in the regular season. That's the game where you are a dominant force in your bottom 6 matchups and you're in your bottom 6 minutes that you play. He hasn't really had that yet. Domi has had some big clutch goals. Holmberg has had some moments where he has taken punishments and taken hits to make plays. He's also had some crappy, dumb moments of his own. But if Bobby McMahon gets going, if Max Domi can eliminate some of those, if Holmberg can eliminate some of those, this fourth line can go back to what they were as the third line, and now all of a sudden you're rolling 1, 2, 3, and 4 for Craig Berube and making his life a lot easier, especially when you go on the road here, and Paul Maurice is going to have the matchup advantage. So I'm looking for a lot from these guys here tonight. Your first line, still not really giving you their A game yet. The second line has been really, really good. The third line, which was the fourth line, has been excellent. The fourth line which was your third line, has to step up here tonight. Those are the forwards for the Maple Leafs in this one tonight against the Panthers for Game 3. To your defensive cores, defensive pairings, there's no changes here at all, and there should not be changes here at all. Jake McCabe, Chris Tanev remain as your first pair. Morgan Riley, Brandon Carlo, your second pair, Simone Benoit, and OEL as your third pair. I'm not going to touch on this. This D group, this D core, has been spoken about in depth by anybody and everybody covering the Maple Leafs right now. You want to talk about why things are so hard for Florida, why things were so hard for the Ottawa Senators? It's because of the D, systematically, and because of the guys that you have out there. These 6 are the best 6 that have been a part of this D group in the entire Matthews era, and debatably a lot longer than that. This is the best constructed defensive group that you have had in a very, very long time, and they have been playing like it. So they just need to keep that up here tonight. I'm not going to add anything else to that. It has been beaten like a dead horse. I don't know what that saying was. I got through part of it, and then I had my own George Bush moment. You know, there's an old saying in Tennessee, you can fool me once, you can't get fooled again. That's where I was headed when I started to say that saying. But regardless, we got through it. Those are your lineups for tonight. Joseph Woll will start for this Maple Leafs team. Sergei Bobrovsky on the other side will start for the Florida Panthers. Quickly here before we go to our best bet, keys to victory for me tonight. The most important one, play your game. You've done it through 2 games. The second game was the one that I was really worried about. Sam Bennett has the play on Stolarz, knocks him out of the series here so far. Yet to be seen if he'll come back. Matt Murray, Hildeby, they're on the ice. Matt Murray's backing up behind Joseph Woll. Anthony Stolarz doesn't even travel to Florida. It seems like, at least, the narrative here in Leafs Nation is that comes from the Bennett hit. I think it's a combination of the Reinhart shot that rings him off the mask, the Sam Bennett hit to the side of the head at the side of the net as he's going to the net. They combine to take Stolarz out of this series, but there's a lot of talk. How are the Leafs going to respond? Are they going to get dragged into the mud? Are they going to go nuts? Are they going to go gung-ho and get out of their game? And to this point, they haven't. And I think it bothers the Panthers a little bit. I think it also not only bothers the Panthers, but it doesn't let the Panthers fully get into their game because they want to drag you into the mud. They want to say, hey, come over here. Stoop down to our level. Let's play this nitty, mucky, gritty, gross game where you've got to grind for everything. We're going to go to the box over and over again. We're going to battle after every single whistle. And the Leafs have kind of just said, hey, we're not afraid of you, but we're not going to do that because we're not dumb. We'll stick up for ourselves. We'll stick up for our teammates. We'll be present in the scrums. We'll be physical. We'll hit you. We'll finish our checks, but we're not going to be stupid. We're not going to run around with our like chickens with our heads cut off. We're not going to punch guys in scrums and take penalties when you don't have to. The Leafs have just not gotten baited into that game by the Panthers yet. And I think that's one of the biggest keys to victory here tonight. Do not let them do that, because once you do, it will look like a little crack in the armor, and all of a sudden the Panthers might go, we've got him. Let's bring him in. Let's get him into our game, and then we are going to take advantage of this. Do not let that be the case. The second thing that I want to look for here tonight is getting shots on Bob, and specifically with traffic. So we know Sergei Bobrovsky through 2 games has not played his best. In round 1, he also didn't really look like playoff Bob, and you've not really let him get comfortable yet in this series. Don't let him get comfortable. Don't let him get hot. Don't make his life easy. If you're shooting the puck, drive the net, get tips, get screens, and crash that thing for rebounds anytime you can. If you can get some greasy ones by him, you might just make him uncomfortable and just not let him get into that momentum, not let him get into a groove. I know we talked about on the sheet the Carolina stuff and how the Hurricanes get goalies hot and can get goalies warmed up because they pepper them with shots. I'm not particularly worried about that. Get to the net, make his life uncomfortable, and put pucks on Bob. You could wear him down. You could make him break a little bit if you can get a couple by him early, especially. Get pucks on net. The third thing, I want to see the power play wake up. To this point, it has been rather pathetic. you've gotten away with it. At some point, that's not going to fly. Not scoring on the power play is going to come back to haunt you. You need to bury on these opportunities. You've gotten away with it through 2 games where specifically your first power play has not been very good. Bury on the power play. Score on your power play opportunities. Quick note from the Florida Panthers side of things is that'll do it for my most important keys to victory here tonight against the Panthers. The Panthers did say, Paul Maurice said, there was some game time decisions due to injury. I wonder if this is just some coach speak and they're just trying to kind of, hey, we could have guys missing. Maybe you need to change your game plan. What are we going to do? And you try to make the Maple Leafs think about it. I don't think Craig Berube too worried about that stuff, but I do wonder if that's something that's going on where on the other side he is going to do that and going to play that card because that's the kind of guy Paul Maurice is, the kind of coach he is, and I respect him for it, but I wonder if that's happening. Now, brief note, I wonder about Matthew Tkachuk. I'm not suggesting at all he's not going to play tonight, and I think that this guy's a warrior and he'll play through all of it, but I wonder if he is banged up and if they might look at it and just say, hey, we've got last change, rest him for a game, maybe he got too banged up, take him out. I wonder about that. I do think he's fighting through something, but otherwise there's no real glaring injuries for me on the Panthers side of things, so I'm not entirely sure what to expect from an injury side of thing for them and who could not play. He did say game time decisions, but as of right now, I do think everybody goes. That'll do it for your line combinations and keys to victory and what you might get for the Panthers here tonight. Now let's get to our best bet segment presented by Bet365. Want to get in on the action for Stanley Cup playoffs at Bet365? They've got you from game props, player props, totals, and the money line. You can even bet on futures like series winners, conference champions, the Stanley Cup champions, and much more. Whatever your bet is, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Download the app and get in on the game. An official partner of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Must be 19 or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, visit connectsontario.ca. For our best bet tonight, we've actually got 3. I'll be honest. Taking a little bit of a swing here on this one. Some of it is I just think some of this has gone too far. I think some of it has gotten a little bit ridiculous. So, we're going to go over to Bet365, and we go into the NHL section. We're going to go into the Leafs and the Panthers game, into the player props. 2 of the best bets are here at the top. If you would like to parlay them, go ahead. I would highly recommend if you parlay these, you play them for a smaller amount, especially given that there's going to be some correlation, so you're going to get some VIG that's attached to them. You're not going to get the greatest price in the world when you do that, but this is the way I'm looking. First, William Nylander anytime goal, plus 210. Half unit, $50, profits you $105. William Nylander has been unbelievable. Second most points in the Stanley Cup playoffs right now, 3 points behind Mikko Rantanen. I know it would be 3 games in a row. 4 games, I guess, if you consider the Sens series. I know it would be difficult for him to continue to add, but at this price, I can't not bet it. Plus 210 for William Nylander. This is not an appropriate price for him, I don't think. I think he should be 180, 185, maybe 175. 210, I'm going to hit it every time. That's the first one. Next one, another goal scorer, another half-unit play. John Tavares, anytime goal, plus 260. Half unit. Profits you $130. A $50 bet profits you $130 on this one tonight. Both guys on the second line I'm looking at. Those are your 2 bets right now. Johnny T anytime plus 260. Nylander anytime plus 210. The final one that I'm looking at for tonight's game. The first time this season that I have done this. I have not placed a bet on a side or a total all year. We're going with the Toronto Maple Leafs money line plus 195. A half unit on this one, $50. More so because I'm going half units everywhere else, and we're just spreading all this stuff out. And we're going with a bunch of bets tonight in this one. 3 official best bets that we're going to be tracking. Leafs money line plus 195 is the third official best bet of this game. If you do want to parlay them together, go ahead. I would highly, highly, highly recommend you play it for something small. $10, a tenth of a unit, whatever it may be. Play for something small here. These are going to be correlated. If you're going to get both goals from Tavares and Nylander and the Leafs win, or you're going to get both goals, you're going to be much more likely that the Leafs win. So that kind of stuff plays into it. If the Leafs win, then one of those two guys scoring is going to go into it, like all that kind of stuff. It's going to be correlation. I just think that we've gone too far. I understand the respect for the Panthers. I get it. But there's been a lot of disrespect in this market right now for the Maple Leafs, and I'm willing to bet on it. I'm willing to take that risk. So Nylander anytime plus 210. John Tavares anytime plus 260. Leafs money line plus 195. Reminder, on the Tavares bet, $50, profits you $130. On the Nylander bet, $50, profits you $105. And on the Leafs money line, $50, profits you $97.50. Those are my best bets for tonight's game. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate it as always. I will be back here for another edition of Leafs Nation After Dark to break down and instantly react to Game 3 for Leafs Nation After Dark, and I will be joined tonight by Nick Alberga, live from Florida at Amerant Bank Arena. Thank you guys all for watching here today. Appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you tonight. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe here to Leafs Nation 401 on YouTube. Until tonight's game, enjoy the game. And as always, Leafs Nation, more than ever, keep believing. For more content just like this, including game previews, post-game live shows, Leafs Morning Take, Monday through Friday with Nick Alberga and Jay Rosehill with special guests, as well as instant reaction videos, make sure to be subscribed here to the Leafs Nation YouTube channel. Turn on notifications so you don't miss anything, and drop a like.